Welcome to day 3 of the Supreme Pool Series, the Supreme Masters. Mike has joined me again, the main man in the commentary box this weekend.
Thank you.
Did a sterling job.
Thank you very much.
Have you found it so far?
It's been brilliant. Action's been fantastic, hasn't it? It's been fantastic. I mean, we've seen upsets. Well, we can call them upsets. We've seen some of the top players eliminated early doors. They've managed to work through the losers section. They're still active. They're still alive. But we've seen some of the top boys come through the winners section as well. So it's really, sizing up to be a fantastic final day. And, with so much prize money on offer, there's pressure. And it's such an illustrious title to have as well. It's going to be great viewing, I think.
It is. So do you want to run down the 16 that have qualified through the winners?
The
8 of the winner.
Yeah, so we've obviously got 8 come through the winners section already. Like I say, we've got a few of the obviously bigger names. Obviously, Mick Hill's managed to get through despite having an injured neck. He's managed to sort of come through quite comfortably, really. I think most of his games he come through with a bit of sort of spare change. Max Nosko, perhaps we know him as a money match player. Obviously, he is a very accomplished tournament player as well, so he's come through. Jack Whelan, Adam Davis, both world champions in their relative disciplines. Neil Raybone, we know what Neil does. He quietly comes through the draw, very serenely. He's through. Sean Chipperfield, another former world champion, he's through the draw. Mick Hill, Mark Farnsworth, another one of the top boys, he's through. And Craig Marsh, another world champion. So, it is an embarrassment of riches when you look at that, the players who come through in section. And then we go to the losers section, so we've got one more round of the losers side to come through this morning. The winners will go through to the last 16, and we're just looking at. I mean, we've got players like Tom Cousins, we've got Phil Harrison, we've got Liam Dunster, Gareth Hibbert, Jordan Church, Clint Hansen. It's just an absolutely ridiculous lineup. It's fantastic.
It is, and a couple of the names you mentioned there were Phil Harrison and Liam Dunster.
Yeah,
both lost the first match.
Yeah,
and now they just working their way back round.
Yeah, well, I think it's incredible. It shows their mentality, how they are. That they've overcome the disappointment of losing on Friday. They've come back Saturday morning and they've worked through the field. They've won 5 matches yesterday. And they've got themselves into a position now where they'll be back on a level playing field. But I mean, there's players in there that perhaps we might not have thought of as perhaps tournament favourites. There's a few players. I mean, like Jake Dillon, New Love. He's done well to come through. I mean, he's one round away from getting to the last 16. He gave Mick a fairly good game, but like I say, it's the lineup's fantastic. It's really sort of good, varied. And
one particular player's had a real tough draw, Phil Harrison.
It's crazy. I mean, Phil lost Friday afternoon, didn't play again until Saturday morning. But I think the run he's had through, he's played Darren Appleton, he's played Rhoda McCarthy, Chris Mellon. This morning he's got to play Clint Hansen just to get through to the last 16. So, if Phil gets to the last 16. How dangerous is he going to be? All the match play he's had this weekend, he's going to be feeling
great. And he won the last event, so he's going to be confident.
Yes, yeah, and obviously same with Liam Dunster. Liam Dunster's number 1 on the series. Phil Harrison is number 2. So it's fantastic to see that they're still there, and obviously they're vying for the number 1 spot. But like I say, if someone comes in like Mick Hill and he wins this event, he'll go to the top of the ranking. So that's a subplot as well.
Yeah,
to the day that there's ranking points. So.
Lots of talking points.
Yeah, it's just incredible. Everywhere you look, any table you look at, there's a story. And players like Yannick Beaufils from France.
Yeah,
he's very methodical. He's very calculating. He's sort of carved his way up through the field, and he's dangerous. No one's going to want to play him.
Exactly. And last time he should have really beat Mick. I think he missed a black at 10-all.
Yes.
So,
yeah. We know how dangerous he is. Former world finalist, another event he's played.
So, okay, well, we'll get on with the action.
Yes.
We have Simon Fitzsimmons against Craig Lakin. Lakin is his new nickname, I think, but he's certainly entertaining and we'll have a great match. So we'll see who gets through to the last 16. The draw will be in about an hour's time. We'll see how quick this game goes, whether we do it in the section of streaming or whether there's time to do the draw for the last 16 after this match. Thank you.
Okay, good morning everybody and welcome back to the Players Pool and Snooker Lounge near Stoke-on-Trent. It's the last day of the 2018 Supreme Masters, which is event 3 of this year's Supreme Pool Series. And what a day of action it's going to be. We've got 24 players out of the original 128 remaining. This match we're going to be concentrating on this morning is a losers qualification match. So the winner of this best of 15 encounter will go through to the last 16 knockout section. Currently we've got eight players who have come through the winners section undefeated. They're already in the last 16. The 9 o'clock session this morning is the final losers qualification round, where those 8 undefeated players will be joined by 8 players who come through the losers section. We're going to be doing the draw in approximately about an hour's time, as soon as we know the 8 players who come through from the B side of the draw. And well, I haven't even talked about the match we're about to watch. This is going to be Simon Fitzsimmons versus Craig Lakin is at the table. A very entertaining match. I think 2 players who have sort of played each other before in the money match scene, and this game really shouldn't take too long. 2 very entertaining, open, aggressive players. Just underdone that. Craig will be a little bit disappointed with that. Yes, nice recovery from Craig there. That wasn't his chosen pocket initially, but he managed to reroute. Just asking Viv Rusko, our referee, to remove the Supreme rack. And this black for Craig Lakin to make a rapid start. Yeah, nice shot. So I say about the Supreme Masters, nearly £30,000 worth of prize money is going to be dished up today, from which this evening our champion is going to be taking home £13,000, which is by far the biggest tournament winning amount this year in the world of English 8 ball. We are, of course, leading up to the grand finals, which will take place at the end of November, start of December, where the champion will take £51,000, which is will be the largest amount in the tournament history of English 8 ball. So, but like I say, today's top prize, £13,000, isn't to be sniffed at. So, a lot of pressure today. As there we go, we see next door there are 7 other tables in action. So these all are the final matches in the losers section. So the winners of these matches will go through. They qualify for the last 16, where essentially the tournament is reset as a sort of single elimination knockout event. All of these pairs will also, the winners will also be on a payday. The losers don't even get their bus fare home, so it's quite a big match in that sense as well. So we'll, as we sort of go through the match, we'll sort of go through who's already in the last 16 draw, but we'll just concentrate on Simon now at the table. We are playing black ball rules. Oh, that's Simon will be disappointed there, because that was a player error. That's gone straight in off. That's not been kicked at all. So if you're not familiar with the black ball rules, any foul, the player returns to the table and has a free hit. So you'll see Craig here will just try and make things as easy as he can. Yep, just setting up the yellow. So now he needs to pot a ball to be that colour set. But if you look at yellows, they all go somewhere. And this is why Craig is one of the most the most entertaining players to watch, certainly from a fan's point of view. And me commentating on him, I really enjoy commentating on Craig, because he is sort of no nonsense. And he's not reckless in any way. This is, controlled aggression. He knows what he's doing. And, he is, when he's on form, he's a very intimidating player to play against, because he can rattle off 2, 3, 4, 5 frames in in no time. I think he's done that to a few opponents this weekend actually. And I don't necessarily think it matters to him who he plays either, whether it's so this black for 2-0, and there we go. There's evidence. There's no nonsense. Just run through the rack, and all of a sudden he's 2-0 up on Simon. I don't think it bothers Craig who he plays. He sort of plays the same way. If it was Mick Hill or some bloke down the pub, he's not going to change his tact. So anyway, Craig's very quickly gone 2-0 up. We'll quickly have a look at some of the matches around the arena. I must mention that we are on YouTube. If you want to go over to the Beard Productions YouTube channel, we are streaming 3 other tables as well. So there are 4 tables with live stream cameras on them. If you want to have a look around the arena, go to the Beard Productions YouTube channel, and you can have a look at the other tables in action. So here are the scores. So Gareth Ibbott, former world champion, he's 2-0 up on Richard Toomey. Liam Dunster's worked his way through the losers section, but he's lost the first frame to Jimmy Croxton. What a game that is. Phil Harrison versus Clint Janssen. One of those two will be eliminated this morning. Yannick Beaufils of France, he's 2-0 down to Jordan Church. Rob Warren is locked at 1-1 with Jordan Shepherd. Tom Cousins, another world champion, is 2-1 up as well. So, the same fates happened to Craig there. He's broke. I don't think it got kicked off. It'd be interesting to have a look at that again. I'm not sure if I get the chance, but anyway, he's gone enough, and Simon's got a good opportunity here to open his account. So you see there, when you do have a free visit in Blackpool, it's imperative that you use that visit. I mean, it's such a valuable tool. I think more with that shot, Simon was just really getting the cue ball into the position that he wants to, because he's going to bring open. Well, he didn't need to. He's actually managed to find the gap on the his tricky red. And this looks like an ideal opportunity for Simon to respond back. And it was Craig's break, so Simon wants to win this. Technically, I mean, if you want to look at like a tennis or darts analogy, he would be back on serve. Yeah, that's fine. That's good. Be looking to play the black into the same pocket as this red, I should imagine. So this shot here is it's just all about speed, really. What you will notice about the top players is that they don't necessarily have to play certain shots too precise, because they're very good potters anyway, so they won't try to get bang on a ball. They can leave a little bit of distance, because they're that good anyway. They don't need to take any risks by going into balls or using cushions unnecessarily. Yep, so that's fine clearance under the circumstances by Simon there, and he opens his account. But he still trails 2-1, but it is his break in the next frame. The other game that didn't mention a few minutes ago was the match on table number 1 in the losers section is Drew Hughes and Josh Kane. They're locked up at 1-1. Gareth Ibbott, as you see, he's taking the third frame against Richard Toomey, so Gareth is looking good to qualify. Jimmy Croxton's taking the second frame against Liam Dunster, so Liam got a little bit of work to do to get back into the match. Phil Harrison's taking the first frame against Clint Ianson. Jordan Church 2-0 up on France's Yannick Beaufils. Jordan Shepherd, Rob Warren, that'll be another entertaining match. I'm sure that's they're locked up at 2-2. Tom Cousins is former 2-time WEPF World Champion. He's 3-1 up on Jake Dillanulov. Shows how brutal it is. I mean, Jake's done a fantastic event. He won 3 consecutive matches in the winners section, and in the winners qualification round last night, he played Mick Hill. He lost, and his prize in the losers section is to play Tom Cousins. So arguably the 2 of the big pre-tournament favourites he's had to play. So that shows how brutal the draw can be. So what you will notice here, if you haven't seen our stream before, is the tournament uses the Supreme rack. So you see Viv Roscoe, the referee, they just marking the ball so she can remove the rack. That's a real error from Simon, and you can see he's how disappointed he is with that. And, you know, Craig's jumped out of his chair. That's a really bad unforced error by Simon. And if you look at the lay of the land, he really has, you know, passed a golden opportunity up to Craig. And this is what I mean about Craig. He is very punishing, and it's very despondent for opponents of his because he plays the game so quickly. It just feels a lot more brutal, and you know, very, very quickly from that mistake from Simon, it looks as if Craig's gonna take full advantage. Yeah, he just had to mind his work a little bit there, make sure he found the gap. Wow, I think that's a bad error from Craig. Wow. He had a fairly big area to land in there. And you can see how disappointed he is. It'd be interesting to see if he can recover this. He's obviously going to be looking at perhaps coming off the side cushion and trying to pop the black. Simon sat there. I'm sure he's surprised that he might get another shot in this frame. You see, the players have 45 seconds a shot. At 10 seconds remaining, they are warned by the referee. You heard Craig there ask for his time extension. So each player is permitted a 30-second extension per rack. So, but the player has to verbally ask the referee for a time extension. Yeah, that's what he played. Is he going to? And he's part of the red as well, so to add insult to injury, that could be terminal for Craig this frame.
Yes,
So you possibly might see Simon here using his free hit, the red and black, that both kind of on the left-hand cushions. He might try and remove both of them in the same shot to try and make it as easy as he can. So yeah, that's what he's looking at. And again, you see, he hasn't. This is what we were saying yesterday about the top players. When they do try and move balls and get things out, it's controlled aggression. Simon knew by playing it that way that he would get both balls into the open part of the table. Yeah, just had to be a little bit careful with that one. That's okay. For a second there, he was a little bit concerned about how it may end up, but he should be comfortable enough here. Yeah, that was possibly his trickier red out of the three because it was slightly behind the black, so. But now it looks like plain sailing, and it was a frame of two errors, really. Simon's initial shot was a poor one, and then Craig snookered himself on the black, which he'll certainly be very disappointed with. So, but so Simon's gratefully accepted that gift, and he's levelled the match up at 2-2. It is Craig's break next, though, so we are still on serve. So as I say, we're going to be showing all the action, the conclusion of today's Supreme Masters. Like I say, we are on Facebook. We're on a number of groups there. We're on the Beard Productions channel, also the Players Pool Events page. We're on Twitter as well, Periscope there. Well, obviously, like we're also on YouTube as well, where we're streaming 4 tables at the same time. We'd really appreciate if you could share the videos and action around sort of social media. You know, we're really trying to raise the profile of the series and in turn the sport. So, you know, if you like what you see, you know, please share the action, share the videos. We're also using the hashtag on Twitter, hashtag Supreme Pool Series. So if you are on Twitter, we really appreciate it if you could use that hashtag. And Beard Productions and Players Pool Events are both on Twitter as well. So the handle for Players Pool Events is at Social PPE. So if you are on Twitter, if you could give us a little follow, it'll not only do you get information about today's action, you'll get information about future events and tournaments as well. So we do really appreciate it when people take the time to do that. Yeah, so Craig could just get through to that red. I think he was a little bit. I think he had to play with a little bit of side to turn it over, but he's managed to get through that. And I guess perhaps if you know we've talked about Craig, about how entertaining he is, how fluent he is flowing. I guess the flip side of that is, as we saw with the previous frame where he snookered himself on the black. I'm not necessarily sure that's a concentration issue. It's just perhaps sometimes he plays so quickly that, well, perhaps it is like a complacency issue or concentration issue. But that's a good shot there. He's done well there. I'm just wondering whether he's going to ask the ref to remove the rack. I think he's playing at a little bit of pace, so he shouldn't be worried about it deviating at all. So straight away, Craig struck back there, and that's he'll be feeling better about himself now. That's a lovely break and finish. And we thought this about this match. We didn't think these two players would be wasting any time, and they're certainly not. I mean, this match started a fair few minutes later than the other games in the arena, and that they've already completed 5 frames. Whereas we look at some of the other tables, they only played 2s or 3s or 4s. Craig, I think Craig was trying it on there. He thought it was his break, but it's definitely Simon's, because Craig broke dish last frame.
6, Simon, Fitzsimmons to break, and trading 3 frames to 2.
Okay, so Simon came back to table, looking to respond in kind to Craig's previous break and dish. Oh, he's gone in off again. And again, I think that's the same pocket. Yeah, it is. It's the same pocket where he went in off. I think it was frame 2, and that's gone straight in off. So that is. But unfortunately for Simon, I mean, look at this. He's absolutely busted the balls, and Craig with the yellows here, just getting the red out of the way. Wow, look at that break. I mean, we were talking about this yesterday, because the balls break open so well. On these, with these conditions, you better make a ball off the break, because you're putting it on a plate for your opponent. Yeah, it's a good shot there. Just had to make sure. And look at this. He literally wastes no time. And I think what's entertaining about Craig is, I think you can have, non-pool fans could watch this, and I think they would understand. They would be entertained the way Craig's playing. So I think Craig is quite a valuable commodity for our sport. I think he's someone who people like to watch. So quick look up around the tables, and Gareth Hibbert, who's a former world champion, he's 4-0 up on Richard Toomey. Jimmy Croxton's won the next 2 frames against Liam Dunster. He's taken a 2-1 advantage. Phil Harrison's 1-1 with Clint Ianson. Yannick Beaufils has got on the board against Jordan Church, but he still trails 2-1. Jordan Shepherd, another entertaining player, he's 3-2 up on Rob Warren. Tom Cousins 4-3 up on Jake Dillon Newlove, so Jake's holding his own there. And Drew Hughes and Josh Kane level at 2 frames all. So Craig's break, he's broken them, and I think, I've commentated on most of the matches on this table this weekend and Friday, and I don't think I've seen a better display of breaking from anybody else. All of Craig's breaks so far have been blistering, really. Just had to work the cube a little bit there, but it's pretty good. Yeah, nice shot. So just got to maintain focus on this black, but yeah, there's no issue for Craig the way he's playing at the minute. And, he opens a 5-2 advantage up. Just looking at the scores on Q score, Gareth Hibbert's now 6-0 up on Richard Toomey, so he really is wasting no time himself. It's interesting with Gareth Hibbert because I can't remember his opponent, but we streamed a game of his yesterday morning in the losers section where an opponent of his missed the ball at 7. It was Joe Prince, that was it. Went 7-all, and Joe Prince missed the black that he'd pot, 9 times out of 10 to win the match. He's missed it. So Gareth should have been eliminated yesterday morning. Instead, he's still in. He's won 5 matches in a row, and he's on the edge of qualifying for the last 16.
Frame number 8. Simon Fitzsimmons to break, trading 5 frames to 2. Time running.
So you would think this is a crucial frame for Simon now if he's going to harbour hopes of winning this match. Is it? Yes, yeah. There was in the end he made one of each colour. I think he hit them well, so it would have been cruel if he hadn't made a ball. Gareth Hibbert's now gone 7-0 up on Richard Toomey. Looks as if Gareth could be the first player from the loser section through. Spoke to Gareth this morning and said hello and sort of said, I see you're still hanging in there. He's doing more than hanging in. He's going to be in the last 16. He's going to be very dangerous. Somebody people will not want to draw. Nice shot from Simon. He's set himself up for the plant here. So he's obviously got a little bit of work to do here at the bottom end of the table, but there are balls in close proximity, so he's got options, I think, in a minute. Simon just asking Viv to remove the rack there. I'm not sure that's ideal for Simon. Just looking to see if he can maybe, perhaps he's looking at coming round, playing the red in the middle of the table off the other red. No, he's gone into it. I'm not sure if he can get to the bottom angle on this red and to the bottom right hand pocket. We'll soon find out. He could get to it. He could get to most of it, put it that way. He's got second prize, although he's covered the pocket. Although, as we've seen with black ball rules, that's lesser of an advantage than it would be if we were playing world rules. So I'm sure Craig's already got an idea on how to create a solution to the red in the bottom right hand pocket. So yeah, it's a fine shot. I was about to say it looked as if he had an angle to do that, but he's still got to execute the shot, and it just shows, you know, Craig's got that type of shot in his arsenal. He's a very dangerous opponent. So again, we're talking about control cannons. He knew he was screwing back into that, and he's landed perfectly. Oh wow, that's an error. That's a bad unforced error. And that's the second of the match by Craig, even though he's could be 5-3 up now, but he snookered himself on the black in frame 4, I think it was, or frame 3, and that there's just a little bit careless, I think. Yeah, he'll be a bit disappointed there because it's 6-2 up. He's very strong favourite. So I think the players are just taking a quick comfort break. We'll be back in a few minutes' time when they return.
Okay, good morning. Reggie Gill in the hot seat. Just going to have a quick word about the game while I think the players have gone for a cigarette break. Uncharacteristic miss there at the end of the last frame by Craig for a 6-2 lead. Don't know how important that's going to prove to be by the end of proceedings, but kicking himself there, the cue going down on the ground. Can't probably quite believe he's missed that yellow.
He's been brutal most of the match, hasn't he? But I mean, he snookered himself on a black at
He has. I mean, look,
2-1,
listen. But for the black that he snookered himself on, and that frame there,
Yeah.
this match
could
all
be over.
virtually
Yeah.
be 7-1.
Yeah, I was saying in the box how entertaining Craig is to watch. You know, he's open aggressive, he's controlled.
Absolutely.
But perhaps that's a couple of really bad unforced errors with the yellow and snooker himself in the black. If he could eradicate that from his game,
I think sometimes it's just with the adrenaline type players when they get into a role.
Yeah.
You see, normally you hear people call out from the side when you watch matches. Take your time. You can't say that to somebody like Craig or to Seb Webb.
No, exactly.
That type of thing. That type of player. So
yeah.
you live and die by the sword. If you play like that, when it's perfect and it's in sync, it's beautiful to watch. But every now and again, you will see something like that.
Yeah, sure.
And some days it won't be that costly, and other days it can be.
Yeah, I mean, we said Simon's gone in off 2 of his breaks. Yeah, he's gone directly in off, which is
so's
a player
Craig
error.
as well. In between that, they've had 2. Simon, I think it's Craig scratch 1, Simon scratch 2. Yeah,
but I don't think. I mean, the matches I've watched this weekend, I think this is the best display of breaking I've seen. They really are.
It's been unbelievable, hasn't it? They're getting the balls
they're open,
and they're making a ball.
Yeah,
even if the white's scratching, they're still making a ball.
Yeah, and we were saying in the commentary box with the conditions in the Supreme Rack, because the ball's bust open so well, you better make a ball off the break.
Yeah, absolutely.
Put it on the plate to your opponent.
Your opponent's walking onto, and at this level of player,
exactly.
Your chances are you may not get another shot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But for me, there was another important point being when I think Craig was 2-1 up, and I think it was either 2-1 or 3-2 and Simon had ball in handles, and he played Craig went dry, and Simon played a ball up into the top corner, red, to try and knock yellow in, and it didn't happen. That's when Craig went on a roll there, because at 2-all, suddenly he's opened up a 3-frame gap.
He went 2-0 up. Simon got back to 2-all, and then Craig's won 3 in a row. But I remember that was
that was an important moment for Simon.
Yeah, it was.
That was Simon's big mistake, if you like, at this point.
Yeah, it was.
And Craig's had 2 big mistakes. Snooker himself on the black. He did this last night against Adam Davis at 9-7.
Oh, did he?
Massive frame, because he ended up getting snookered as a result. On the snooker, came out of an incredible snooker and potted the black and flew around 3 cushions after potting the black, and white went in off.
And gone in off.
10-7 or 9-8, big difference.
It's a crippler.
And then won the next frame to make it 10-8.
Right.
Then when Craig broke at 10-8, he left absolute gimmies.
Right.
Adam was never going to miss those.
No, not Adam, no.
That's going back to what you just said. If you break them well in the shark rack and you don't make a ball,
at this level,
there's a strong possibility you ain't going to get back to the table.
It's brutal. So I mean, we were saying in the box about when Craig is in full flow and he's dishing up, he's so entertaining to watch. I mean, we could show this to people who don't necessarily watch pool, and they would appreciate that it's really good pool. It's entertaining, it's aggressive, it's open, it's no nonsense, isn't it?
Well, the players are just about back in, so I'm going to go back.
Good to speak to you, Reggie, the main man. And
I'll be back in a short while, perhaps, maybe to commentate on something.
You see Craig coming through this now, then?
I hope so.
Yep.
But
Thanks for your time. All the best.
Okay.
So that was Reggie Gill there, one of Craig's followers. He's just going back into the arena to cheer Craig on. So here, Craig's back in the arena. I think Simon, we're just waiting on. Simon's here now as well, so we'll begin very shortly. These are the score lines elsewhere in the arena. So Gareth Ibbotts, he's now on the hill. Liam Dunster's 2-3 down to Jimmy Croxton. Phil Harrison 3-2 up on Clint Ianson. Yannick Beaufils and Jordan Church are locked up at 3 frames all. Rob Warren is 6-3 up on Jordan Shepherd, so Jordan's got a little bit of work if he's going to keep his hopes alive in the Supreme Masters this year. I think Jordan was one of the last matches on last night to finish. He was playing Mark Farnsworth. There's quite a few people around watching. That was a very entertaining game, obviously, between 2 top draw players. And unfortunately, he lost that. Mark was very clinical last night. He took a fantastic finish out in the last frame. So. But Jordan's got a little bit of work to do there, and Tom Cousins is 5-3 up on Jake Dylan Newlove, and Josh Kane 3-2 up on Drew Hughes. So back to the main table, Craig breaks, and well, we were talking about how good his break has been, but unfortunately on this occasion he scratched again, so actually both players have gone in off twice. see Viv Fresco, the head referee for this weekend. She's just marking the ball so we can move the rack. So if we look at the table here, the balls have broken up pretty well already, but we'll see. You'll see Simon just utilising his free hit here, trying to make it as easy as he can. Okay, so he's on reds. He might have a little bit of a puzzle to unravel in a minute with the two reds that are tied together in the bottom right hand part of the table there. But he's got quite a few options, hasn't he, around that? Shouldn't be too much of an issue, you wouldn't think. In fact, the way he's played that, I wonder if one of the reds goes into the middle pocket. So he doesn't need to play any sort of cannon. Yeah, obviously the red passes the black and it goes into the pocket, so doesn't need to play anything too elaborate. I think he's going to play the red into the top right hand pocket, then swing around two cushions, play the red in the middle. Because it's naturally getting the cue ball back in a suitable position. This is just about pace. He's overhit it for the red in the middle, but he is on the red to the corner. See a little shake of the head by Craig, because he realises that that's not what Simon played for. But in all reality, it would have been exceptionally unlucky not to have been one of the two reds. I couldn't see how he couldn't have been. That's not Simon's Sunday best, though, is it? He's left a bit of an angle on this red, so he's going to possibly have to come up and down, use a cushion. Maybe leave a tougher black than planned. Oh, he's underhit this. He's underhit this. This black doesn't go. The only shot he's got is this very tricky cut back into a blind pocket, bottom left hand pocket, and you see Craig having an anxious look across there. He knows there's a possibility that Simon could miss this. Simon just asks for extension, just wants a little bit more breathing time before he plays his shot. He knows how important this is. There's a massive difference between 5-4 and 6-3. Yeah, that's nicely done. It's nicely done. Cuba was moving about, but it wasn't a certain way where he was going into yellows and wasn't really going towards nearer pocket, so he could play the black with a little bit more confidence than normal. Okay, just a quick recap of what we will do is we'll quickly go through who's come through on the winners section. So these 8 players have come through the field unbeaten, so they won 4 consecutive matches and they're in the last 16. Players are Max Nosco, Jack Whelan, Adam Davis, Neil Raybone, Sean Chipperfield, Mick Hill, the tournament favourite, Mark Farnsworth and Craig Marsh.
Frame Frame number 10, Simon Fitzsimmons to break, trailing 5 frames to 4, time running.
So Simon's broke, but he's actually not made a board with the break. So, seeing Craig jump out of his chair there, he's really anxious to get another frame on the board, especially what's happened the last couple of frames. That's not gone to plan for Craig, unfortunately. I can say on one of the outside tables that Gareth Hibbert is the first player through from the losers section. Good pop from Craig there. He's given himself a good chance here. Yeah, so Gareth Hibbert is the first player through on the losers section. He's defeated Richard Toomey 8 frames to 2. So we'll see Craig Hibbert in the last 16 draw a little bit later on. Another nice shot there from Craig. It was a little delicate shot there, just making sure he come around off a couple of cushions to be on this yellow. And another well-controlled shot. So this is a good response from Craig here. If he can clear up here and make him feel a lot better. Wow. If he did play the cannon like that's very precise. But he is still on it, and great opportunity. He needs to just bring the yellow down to the bottom cushion here on the red, and he's done that. So just got to fully concentrate here, especially what we've seen with a couple of mistakes. But yeah, that's fine. Just I don't think he's going to miss this black under any circumstances, and he'll feel so much better about himself. Yeah, made sure, and that's he's shown real character there, Craig has, especially with a couple of unforced errors that he's had previously. That was a really good clearance, actually. Okay, so like I say, Gareth Hibbert is the first player through on the losers section. Liam Dunster's 3-all with Jimmy Croxton. Phil Harrison still just edging it against Clint Anthony 3-2 up. Yannick Beaufils of France has also turned it around. He's 4-3 up on Jordan Church. Jordan Shepherd's kept on the coattails of Rob Warren. He's won 2 frames. He's now only 6-5 down. Tom Cousins has extended his advantage. He's now 6-3 up on Jake Dillon Newlove. And Drew Hughes has taken the lead over Josh Kane. He's 4-3 up. If you want to see the draw sheet and the results from the weekend, and obviously the latest scores, head over to qscore.com and put in the box Supreme Pool Series, and this event is the Supreme Masters. This is event 3 of the series, the middle event. What you'll also see is, whilst there is a last 16 draw where the winners will be drawn at random against the people coming through from the losers section, the draw is fixed, so we know, looking at the draw, that in the top half of the draw, Max Nosko, Jack Whelan, Adam Davis, Neil Raybone, they're all in the top half of the draw. The bottom half of the draw is Sean Chipperfield, Mick Hill, Mark Farnsworth and Craig Marsh. That's a nice shot there from Craig, the holder back there. Just wonder if he's going to play the red up the rail after he's drop this red into the middle. Yeah, he's left himself enough angle here, but this is going to have to be a good shot from Craig. Where the red is on the left-hand side of the table, if you put like the brown spot on a snooker table, he wants to be around that sort of like parallel line. Somewhere around there. Has he just got there? I think he's just got there, yeah, looking at his body language, I think he's on it. Would have liked to have been a little bit straight on it, like say around sort of the brown spot, but that will do. Yeah, he's hit that wow, and you know he's shown really good character here. Craig has, after a couple of mistakes, he'll be livid with himself with. Really good response. Yep, no mistakes this time, and Craig Lakin very quickly gets himself on the hill.
Frame number 12, Simon Fitzsimmons to break, trading 7 frames to 4. Time running.
So no way back now from Simon. He's got to win 4 frames on the spin if he's going to go through to the next round. I guess it's the old saying, it's going to be a frame at a time. He's going to, if he is going to win the match, he's going to have to rely on Craig not making ball off his break and things like that. That's a nice shot there from Simon. He wasn't going for the yellow into the top right hand pocket, he was just getting over the corner and playing the skill shot for the yellow on the top left hand pocket, so that was a nice pot. I think that's okay actually. He's on the yellow to the bottom right hand pocket, and all the yellows do go, so could have ended up easier, but quite easily could have ended up a lot worse. Yes, a nice shot there from Simon. He's got a little bit more of an angle than what he wanted on the yellow into the middle, so just wondering whether he can just get a hold of the yellow. Yeah, so I think he's changed tact a little bit here. He's going for the yellow into the bottom pocket instead. First. Well, it did go in thick, but he's managed to just get there. Although, again, he's not in absolute A1 position. I don't think the black goes into the bottom right-hand pocket, so this is his issue, that he's going to have to play the black into the bottom left-hand pocket. So he is going to have to put a fair bit of action on the cue ball. Yeah, that's gone wrong. He was trying to thread it through those two reds. Come off the bulk cushion and then come back into the middle of the table for the black into the bottom left-hand pocket. And now he's in real strife. Just waiting for the white to finish with. That's a great shot there from Simon. Fantastic recovery. And he keeps his hopes alive. He knew the placement of the reds, that if he missed that was probably end of match. So full credit to Simon there for making that black. They don't come much tougher on a pool table. So just recap of the other scores around the arena. Tom Cousins is now 7-3 up, so Tom Cousins is on the hill, so he could be the next person through to the last 16 draw. Liam Dunster's 4-3 up on Jimmy Croxton. Phil Harrison is now 4-2 up on Clint Jansen. France's Yannick Beaufils 5-3 up on Jordan Church. I think Jordan was 2-0 up in that game, so that's a bit of a turnaround for Yannick, who is a former World Championship finalist, so Yannick is another very dangerous player to play against. He's very intimidating as well with the way he plays. Jordan Shepherd, wow, Jordan Shepherd was 6-3 down to Rob Warren, but he's managed to win 3 on a trot, and he's got it back to 6-all, so that could be a grandstand finish over on table 14. And Josh Kane has turned things around against Drew Hughes. He's won the last 2 frames, is now 5-4 up. Okay, so it is Craig's break. Craig has got 2 of the next 3 breaks if needed. He'll certainly be hoping this is the last break, his last break and the last break of the match, though. As I say, the winners of this match will go through to the last 16 and they'll be guaranteed a payday. The losers go home with nothing, despite coming through multiple matches. So there is additional pressure on this round of games, knowing that you're going to get paid if you win. So here we go then. Craig, we're hoping this is the last time he breaks off in this match. And he's been breaking like a dream throughout the match, and unfortunately for him, he's come up dry on this occasion. So we can say the second player to come through the losers section is Tom Cousins. Tom's just confirmed a 8-3 victory over Jake Dylan Newlove. So we'll see Tom Cousins in the draw later, another one of the tournament favourites, 2 times world champion. Tom Cousins is about so all these yellows do go somewhere. Again, he's just got to be a little bit cute with his cue ball placement. Nearly caught him a cropper last frame when he didn't get on his last yellow satisfactory, and ended up having to play an extremely tough black. So he'll be hoping he won't need to repeat any heroics like that this time around. Far enough. He was looking to get on the 2 yellows here in the middle of the table, so he's going to have to go to the yellow in the top right hand pocket and screw back, or use a cushion. I'm not quite sure how straight he is on that yellow. Looks a good shot from Simon, because he's going to play the top yellow. I think he's got an angle where he'll bump into the red, sort of parallel to it on the left, to hold for the yellow underneath. So again, we'll just see a controlled cushioned cannon here. And that's what Simon's played. It hits it absolutely perfectly. And barring anything extraordinary, Simon's going to make it 7-6. So we've got to hold the back page because Simon is on the comeback trail. That's 2 in a row. It's going to be his break in the next frame as well. So we've got a grandstand finish on this table. Just a quick look around the tables elsewhere. We mentioned earlier that Tom Cousins and Gareth Hibbert are the first 2 players through from the losers section into the last 16. They joined the 8 players who qualified last night through the winners' side. Phil Harrison has furthered his advantage against Clint Irons, and he's now 5-3 up. Rob Warren, 1 frame 13 against Jordan Shepard, and is now on the hill. He's 7-6 up. So he could be the next person through from the losers' side.
Frame number 14, Simon Fitzsimmons to break, trailing 7 frames to 6. Time running.
punching break there from Simon. He's made a ball off the break, and it'd be interesting to see whether the red on the left-hand cushion will pass. No, the yellow. I was wondering whether the red would pass the yellow. Is at the bottom left-hand pocket, but it doesn't look as if there's a big enough gap there for that. So he might have to look at, if he does want to play reds, either removing the yellow or removing the red in some way. It looks like he's going for it straight now. That's what he tried. Unfortunately, didn't quite connect with it exactly how he would have liked. But the cue in there, but Simon's managed to get it, but I think it might have just held up. He's still got the problem with this red in the bottom left-hand part of the table. That's going to be something he's going to have to unravel in a minute. What you will see with the top players, if you're not familiar with watching English 8 ball, is they'll try and remove problem balls as soon as they can to leave themselves options. They really don't want to leave having to make a cannon until sort of the last ball later on in the frame. So that's the reason why Simon, he had the angle first off with his first shot, and he tried to open it up straight away. Unfortunately, didn't quite work out with the cannon on the yellow. And the more balls you take off the table, the less tools you have to remove problem balls. So it's counterproductive to sometimes pop balls. You want to leave balls on the table so you can use them as weapons, as it were. It looks as if he might perhaps be playing the double at this point. I mean, that's an option. Yep, he is on it. So now that's wide. So it was that red was his stumbling block. So this is far from easy, but Craig Lakin has half an opportunity here to progress into the next round. He's got quite a bit of work with the 3 yellows at the top of the table. I'm just wondering if Craig is thinking of playing a snooker at some point and trying to extract a foul from Simon, just because the clearance is not straightforward. Looks as if he's just going to sort of try and sandwich him in behind these yellows here. And if you're not familiar with black ball rules, unlike other rule sets that are played, the player has to make a valid attempt at trying to get out of the snooker, so they can't just play a deliberate foul and roll up to one of their opponent's balls. You know, I'm not sure whether Craig has got the complete snooker. Simon's having a quick look to see if he can just get to this red that's furthest right of the table. So Simon has asked for a total snooker. I don't think he did ask for a total snooker. I think that was a bit of Roscoe just saying that there was 10 seconds left, so my apologies there. Simon could hit the red, but unfortunately for him, he's not got the cover that he wanted. And now this is an opportunity for Craig. This is a golden opportunity for Craig to get through. I wonder if he'll just take a little bit more time to make sure he knows how important this opportunity is. So he has left distance, so he just needs to play this a little bit deftly. Looks good, just needs to make sure of the black, and he'll be through to the last 16. Safely down, and you can see how much that means to Craig Lakin there. It was a really entertaining match to watch. We thought it would be between two very entertaining and open players, and you can see Craig's absolutely delighted to qualify for the last 16. So, well done Craig Lakin. He's through 8-6. He's qualified. He'll be getting paid this weekend. Okay, as we were doing across the weekend, hopefully going to catch a word with Craig about that in our interview room with Lee Kendall and perhaps myself. We can just talk to Craig a little bit. After that, we are going to be restarting the stream and going to be doing the last 16 draw. There are still matches going on in the arena. We're aware of that, but we are going to do the draw. The last 16 is scheduled to start at 11 o'clock, but obviously that's dependent on other matches in the arena finishing on time. I think we'll certainly be close to 11 o'clock anyway, but if you want to stay on the stream, I think we're going to be interviewing Craig. Then shortly after that, we'll be restarting the stream and doing the live draw for the last 16, where the 8 winners will be paired up against the 8 losers. And then shortly after that, we'll begin the last 16 action when all the other losers qualifying matches have been completed. So stay tuned to Beard Productions. Thanks for tuning in for that match. We hope you enjoyed it, and thank you again. Stay tuned. We'll be interviewing Craig Lakin in a few minutes' time, hopefully.
Well, Craig, through the loser side, but you're in the last 16.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here with the standard of the tournament so high. To reach this stage, I think it's a good achievement for any player. So yeah, playing well. I think it's a pretty decent game there.
Mike commentating on it, so you would know.
Yeah. Very, very entertaining game. I mean, you broke really well as well. I think that's possibly the best I've seen anybody break on the table this week. It was really good.
I think I got kicked off in 1 or 2, but generally I broke really well. We got splitting the ball as well, and luckily Simon managed to mess up in the last frame and scrape me through.
I imagine Simon's style suits your style as well, because you're both attacking
definitely
players.
Yeah, we both like bounce off each other, similar players, both attacking, both fast, so it's like really enjoyable instead of getting dragged down into games and you can lose your head a little bit, but yeah.
Well, you're on the one round now. No, don't have to worry about the loser side anymore. You're in the main draw, the last 16.
Lovely.
So well done.
Thank you, mate.
The draw will be on the new stream. We're just going to finish this interview. Then within a few minutes, we'll be straight back up again and we'll do the draw for the last 16. See you in a few seconds.